Yeah, I think we're running again. Apparently, we lose connection. I don't know why. There seems to be, well, I guess YouTube, the devil, and all that, and the YouTube knows that I'm, you know, ruining the things. It's usually, they tend to do things in the background, so it gets hard, gets issues, so people have difficulties with this and that. We have what do you call it? Whistleblowers from inside these big companies saying that this and that and all that. So losing the connection again. So it's just interesting that you would lose connection. You go from not having any problems to all of a sudden having a lot of issues, right? Anyway, so I lost a couple of minutes speaking without actually knowing that it was taken off, which is a little annoying, of course, because there was some lost information, but that's the way it is. So I was talking about the gears in regards of Bible, in regards of things, and the Jesuits. Interesting. Maybe it was the word Jesuit they didn't like or something like that. Speaking about the Jesuits in Ethiopia and those issues where Rome took over Ethiopia, and in regards to there's a lot, there's history on that. In regards of history, it's not that long ago in some sense. Now it's still, but it's not that far overall if you go look into it. But anyway, would be an interesting subject to further look into and see some of the ways that the Jesuits are working in Rome, taking over the whole world. But yeah, we have some of the the oldest documents in regards of the Bible in gears, longest surviving documents in gears, and of course that would be very interesting to look into. But again, there's not that many tools, although you can go and look in regards of gears and all that. Anyway, whatever. But it would be another source to look into to actually see if the name of God is actually preserved in those documents, in those New Testament and Old Testament, so-called Old Testament, the scriptures. It would be interesting to see what we could actually, if they also did as the Greeks and removed the name of God, or the Latin version, which also doesn't have the name of God. So, but we have the Hebrew, we have the Aramaic still conserving, I guess would be the word, conserving the name of God. And I would think that we might find it in regards of gears as well. But again, I haven't looked. I haven't had the ability to look into it. There are some gears videos on YouTube how to learn to speak the language. But yeah, I have so many things already. But that would be a way to. And then of course you have to have the ability to have, to have the documents at hand. And sadly, a lot of the scholars and whatnot, usually just keep the information for themselves instead of letting the information get out to the people who could use their free time to actually study the things, right? But instead, if you want the Aramaic, for example, and these book forms are so expensive, it's just incredible how much you need to pay to get get access to it. So it's it's very sad. But you of course would like the information to get out to the people, but you see all these scholars and whatnot keeping a lot of good information, and then of course pushing a lot of nonsense as well, keeping people away from the interest of the Peshitta, for example, which is a very, very, good testimony in regards of both the Old Testament and the New Testament, translated around the 1st century. So this is an old source that is very close to the Hebrew, and they just throw it away and make it so expensive for other people if they want to look into it. It's very sad. Anyway, let's get further into it. So I was trying to get it to the ESV, as I can't call them up or can't write them on email as far as I could see at least. I wrote them. I tried to get into the group, and I did, even if I didn't agree to the last part of not. Again, I can't remember what it was. It was like something of agreeing or disagreeing or something like that. I'm not going to agree with everybody else if I don't agree. Something of, I can't remember. It was something that I absolutely didn't agree with. But hey, I was closed into the group anyway. So right, dear ESV, used your Bible in the free software arena before it was taken back. I do have a bought copy in accordance, but did like it better in the free app as it was running much more smoothly on my mobile. These mobile applications, some of them was just so smooth, The one that I really have installed now was actually the less smooth, but it was the one that could have access to all the information and still do pretty much everything nearly. So I ended up choosing that and throwing away the other 3 actually, because there's 2 versions of that app that I have. But anyway, I would like to see your support. I would like to see you support the Free Open Source Society again. So that is a plea from me to you to resupply them with your translation. I do have the ESV. It's not like I don't have the ESV. But the thing is, now I have it on an accordance, and accordance software on the mobile is, even with the new mobile I have, so slow. It's just slow. You don't feel the smoothness. There's no smoothness over the application. It's just heavy application, and it's really, and I did really also like it better in one of the free apps where you could see the strongs, and you could see the num. It was just better in regards to one of the free applications actually. But then they took it back, and the Open Society was not allowed to use that version anymore, which I think is very sad. One thing is to then let the Open Society use an older version, Just let them use the older version, and then just have the new copy to be payable or something like that, Is that really a biggie? That's one of the things I like the Scripture version. They actually provide an older version freely available for people. Now, of course, there will always be issues here and there in regards to translations. There's always be things that you don't agree on, like taking out 1 John 5:7 and all that is a biggie, I think, Why would they do that, I think it should stay in there, and then they can point out that, whatever, in the earliest manuscripts, always that those earliest manuscripts from Rome in regards of, the Alexandria, documents, things and all that. Is that the documents you are pointing at in regards to just ripping out 1 John 5:7? Is that what you do? I think it is, if I recall correctly. Well, sorry, my memory can't hold everything and anything, okay? So when I research a topic, I have to let go of a lot of information and move forward to be able to fill it up again, and then get to the conclusions, and then just, away with it. Next topic. I just can't have all that information up in my brain. I think it's just like, you have all this information, right? And I can only the more you get to, the less you have to be, you know it, right? But it's like, where is it? If it's out of reach at the moment, it's not to say that I don't know it. It's just to say that I can't reach the information at the moment, or maybe that it has been deleted over the, who knows. Sometimes you can retrieve things, even if it's a long time, where you're uncertain if you know it or not, and sometimes it just pops up, it's like, oh, it was that, but you might not recall at the very moment of, speaking on things and all that. Like in regards to the Alexandria manuscripts and all that, I couldn't remember if I could remember it or not. That king. I think it's called the Alexandria documents in regards to that minuscule of difference in regards of this huge in regards of the text, the received text, you know. So many documents in regards to the received text, and they want to put all the emphasis on this little guy over that doesn't seem to agree with the rest of the having some, yeah, it's just, nah, not going to. Anyway, so I would like to see you support the free open society again. So that is a plea from me to you to resupply them with your translation. Again, I wouldn't speak to these guys if I thought their version was bad. I wouldn't point things out if I thought that this is a waste of. This is one of the Bibles that I have in my Bible application, although I have a good amount of them, but I have sorted out throughout many Bibles. I have the JPS, the ESV, the SLT, the Geneva, the Scripture version 2009, the King James version, and many others, but that was mostly the English versions I had there. Then we go into the Hebrew, the Greek, and the Aramaic, and such things. Luther's, that's the German, of course. I wonder why I haven't put in a German flag on that. I can't remember how to actually put flags on, but I should have browsed for icon. There we go. There we go, German. I don't know why I wouldn't have put that on. Anyway, there's a German. We have some more Aramaic. I have a lot of Aramaic because the Aramaic, I don't have like one single module, sadly. They were working on it. I don't know how far they actually have come because it's some years since you know, there's so many things to research. So we also have the Samaritan Torah version and Dead Sea Scroll version here in this applications, which mostly are having free things, although some of them are paid for. And one of them apparently doesn't work at the moment because I paid for it and I don't have I need to find the email with the information. I'll write back to them and tell them, hey, because I've installed Windows 7, a new Windows 7, and apparently this nonsense of, again, needing to refer that I paid for the application. I hate those things because when you take it from one computer to the other, the whole idea is to be portable, right? And then you have things that you need to do. Give me a break. It's a waste of our time, or we don't live forever, Well, at least not in this life, Seems to be 2 people more that actually have written back. Maybe I should just open it in new tabs so I don't lose if... no, it's still there. Okay. Can I see here? He's writing back in regards of his view. Yeah, and then it's that Jesus quotes out of the LXX. But the thing is, maybe the Hebrew were closer to the LXX in the past. So maybe he wasn't actually quoting from the Greek. Maybe he actually was quoting from the Hebrew from that point. So, I'm not saying that one should throw away the Greek or anything like that. I'm just saying, hey, the name of God is gone. And if you're going to follow what Jesus said, don't take one jot or one tittle away from it. Are they doing that by taking out the name? Absolutely. As far as I can see, in regards to the Masoretic text, we also have issues on that behalf, and that's why we want to look at all the pieces we have, and not just one line of, because like in regards to the Greek, we know the name of God is missing in a huge amount of the Greek manuscripts. Well, we know the name of God is found in the Hebrew, so we can, fix it in regards of having the Hebrew. Now we also have the Aramaic that can confirm in regards of where the name is, which was translated around the 1st century. So we have all these things. We have the Dead Sea Scrolls as well, We have this around 2,000 years old or older, where we have pieces here and there and all that. We have the Latin from the 4th century. We do also have some Old Latin before Jerome. And we have the Samaritan Bible, which probably in some sense is maybe in some sense, one of the oldest sources, but that's the 5 books of Moses, including Joshua, the book of Joshua as well. But we know there are some issues in those Samaritan books, but that's not to say that we cannot use it to verify other things, If we have like 5 or 6 lines that verifies, that lines up, well, we can be pretty certain that that was what was in the original, right? And of course, in regards to the Samaritans, version goes back to, I can't remember, 600 BC, I can't remember, in regards to these people from the outside coming in, and then they get the Samaritan version. So that's taking it further back. And of course, yeah, we know there's some issues in regards of it, but that doesn't take away the importance of what we, in regards of verifying things. So everything agrees and all that. We don't have any problem with that. If we hit into something, we can then investigate it. We have the tools today. We have the information available to us. And yet the scholars want to hang on to their traditions, Give me a break, We can go look at the gears as well. The gears would be very interesting sources to look into as well. If they were not tainted by Romanism, they might have an equivalent to the name of God in both the Old Gears and the New Gears, New Testament. I haven't looked into that, and I haven't seen if anyone. I would need to talk to someone, in regards to it. In regards to the NA28, that is in regards to the different, as far as I recall, in regards to different Greek manuscripts and all that. And then in regards of different variations and so forward, the Nestle Allen Nuon Testamentum, yep. And then you can say, well, this wasn't in the earliest manuscripts. Which are the earliest manuscripts you're referring to? Oh, the Alexandrian text and all that? Oh, yeah, well, let me see. Do you think I'm going to stand on, it depends on how you look at things, right? The Roman Catholics want to look at it in one way, and, and then you have the Protestants. And actually, if you're just honest about it, you can see, well, the text, the received text is the one that has the most manuscripts in regards of in green, going out in the world. And then you have just one, you just have a small, line that disagrees with the rest of the manuscripts out there. And then you're going to run with that compared to all the other manuscripts. Now, of course, not only are we talking about all the other manuscripts of the Greek, but we also have them in other languages. So we can look into things in regards of, because the message goes, out there, and maybe, out spreading out in the world and all that. So if that begins to, if things begins to corrupt, we should be able to say, well, we have all these agreeing to each other, and we have one that doesn't agree. Which are we going to trust, And of course, in different languages makes it even further, foundational, because if you are going to change something, you would need to change all the manuscripts out there in every single language, and that's so I think we have a good amount of, but he is pointing to the NA28 and the LXX and the Masoretic to examine what possible translations exist in the manuscript. I think if you just go to the Aramaic, the Hebrew, the Greek, the Dead Sea Scrolls and all that, instead of, I think the Latin you could use as well in regards to the 4th century, and the Old Latin and all that, and actually look and compare them. He says, of course, to get the most out of the NA28, you will need to learn Greek to some extent. Yeah, but do you have Do you have those Alexandrian manuscripts in the NA28? Because those would be the earliest manuscripts, right? And then you say, oh, we'll keep to those. Yeah. That's not going to happen. Oh, it's just because they are the earliest manuscripts, then we have to be. But they're disagreeing with all the other manuscripts out there. Oh, and what about those in regards of other languages? Are they in disagreement with those as well? Okay. Because again, the word went out to many nations, and it's very hard, to corrupt everything out there. So again, if you have the gospel going out in different languages to different people and all that, and you have a problem, on this and that, and you look on all the, you will take it as a whole. You need to take it as a whole. Anyway. But a lexicon and the apparatus will help with that saying said, after getting this foundational knowledge, you will be better prepared to understand why Jehovah came to be at all. No. I think I actually have done my research, and I think you have been brain defiled on your, the schooling and all that. And if it still bothers you, it's interesting to note that Jesus quotes out of the LXX, not the Hebrew text. Oh, is that so? Which uses the word Lord or Curious instead of Jehovah. Oh, it couldn't have done anything to do with that. They took the name out of the Greek. So what Jesus actually spoke, if we actually look in the Aramaic versions, or maybe in regards of the Hebrew manuscripts of the New Testament, So it's really a rather unimportant topic to the grand scheme of things. Whether you know the true name or not is meaningless if you do not intimately understand the nature and person of God. Again, using bullshit again, it's just, and then it's just using bullshit. Is the name there? Yes. Why are you trying to deflect it? Don't we have the spirit of truth? If we have the spirit of truth, right? Should we stand on truth? Indeed. When the Jehovah's Witnesses, the false witnesses as I call them, come and tells us, well, the name of God is there, we should be like, you're correct. Let's fix it, But no, what do people do? Well, it's just they're correct. Now they're not correct in regards to the divinity of Jesus Christ, but they're correct. The name is there. So why don't people have ears to listen? It's there. No, but in regards to the Greek and the first, manuscript, could we have had, as far as I know, by the way, that we actually do have some pieces of Greek where the name of God is actually there. But could those Greek manuscripts have been, done away? They would have been using the manuscripts, right? And then when Rome, as they always do, corrupt things and all that, then this bullshit of the idea that the name of God shouldn't be pronounced and all that, and then going by, it is, changed, and the word curious is then put in there instead. Now, not in the Aramaic manuscripts and not in the Hebrew manuscripts, but in the Greek manuscripts. So, so just because most of the Greek manuscripts doesn't have the name, just because the Latin version in the 4th century doesn't have the name, does that mean that we shouldn't have the name? Does the Hebrew have the name? Oh yeah. What did Jesus say? Did he say to change anything? Absolutely not. What have you done by changing the name of God? You've changed things. Around 6,000 times. I can't remember the whole thing in regards to the dice, but around 6,000 times just in the Old Testament. Then you have the New Testament as well. So this is standard. It smells like a wolf. Even if the symbol on his website as well also smells like. So, maybe my. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we only have 1 GB left, and then I need to activate my new thing, which is a great thing because the new moon has been there. So I'm trying to reach to the specific point of activating at the new moon. Like, I haven't really taken my nails or my hair off or my beard. I usually do it when the new moon comes around, because then I know when we're closing to the new moon in regards to the new month and all that. But yeah, it's the same nonsense arguments that they're promoting. They're learning these things, and that's the problem with a lot of people. They go to school and they learn the things, and they just promote what they learn. They don't think for themselves. They don't do their own research. They just, do as they have been told. Yeah. The Enduring Authority of the Christian Scriptures by D.A. Carson on the Evidence for the Original Word of God, and grab the NA28, the LXX, and the Masoretic to examine how many, let's see here. Well, let's see, why is it actually, that seems to, I guess. I'm not new. No. Oh, no. That's good. That's a bad thing. Let's see here. Okay. And actually, I also have all the modules, but that's. Let's see here. Defaults, all goggles. Let's just take whatever. Search. It actually finds it 5,879, 7 times in the KJV, but anyway, well, maybe we should just check the KJV at the, the ESV, like, at the moment, but anyway. Yeah, I think, yeah. But hey, but apparently, same old agenda, same old. You wanna well, we got in regards of kicking. Nonsense. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad. That's Mm-hmm. Can't even. Still can. Which have nothing to do. Spraying if you wanna, what is it called? The Alexandrian what is it called? Alexandrian document. Let's see if I correctly in regards of have the right word. Yeah, the code. No. What is it called? What is it called? The oh no. Codex Sinica. Yeah, Sinicus. I think. Yep. I think that's yep. Yeah, I found in the. Where it is on public since its discovery, study of Codex Sinaiticus has proven to be useful to scholars for critical studies of biblical text. Yeah, let's just throw out all the, because we don't want to look at the Peshitta, which was translated in the 1st century, where we have all the books of the New Testament, including the those extra biblical books. And then 22 books of the New Testament. You see, just leave that alone. But the Codex, the Codex Sinaiticus, whatever nonsense, which is just a small thing in regards of all the Codex, the received text and all that, and then let's just rip out the Bible. I think in regards of the N28. It's also based on the Codex Sinaiticus, whatever. If I recall. Yeah. The very brief introduction to the critical apparatus of the Nestle. So, yeah. It's like they want to put their focus on the things and just forget that all the other things exist, like the Peshitta, the Peshitta is just not worth any, it's like not important at all, and so forward. So, let's see if we can find it. It doesn't even seem to find any matches, but maybe it has problem in regards of searching the PDF here. Came to like these manuscripts are much older than most older. Yeah, sadly I can't find the, I don't know in regards to the PDF here. They'd rather run to those than you have the received text that was was accepted, and then they just want to take some other small brands that doesn't agree with the rest of the manuscripts, and then we'll just go with that because it's older. Okay. Yeah, I can't find the thing. Apparently, it can't search um can't search the document apparently in regards to the PDF. So yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, well, but let's run away. Shall I worry? Hmm. And not to forget, what do you want to look at? Incredible, incredible. Pro. Hmm. Oh, there we go. That's interesting, right? Every time they try to, run from things, right? And this and that. You just need this, and you just need that, and you just need whatever, and all that. Well, don't you think it's actually better to just to go to the different versions, instead of going to the Greek different variations in the Greek? And of course, it's something that you can use, but you just have to be very careful, because as far as I recall, it's also based on the Codex Sinaiticus to say that, oh, these are much older, so on the oldest manuscripts this wasn't this and this wasn't there and all that, if I recall correctly. But anyway, we'll see what he writes back. As far as I recall, that is, so that is taking the Greek. I can't remember what it's actually called, this N28, but it's something that is pretty, if I recall, pretty popular to see the variations of the different Greek manuscripts and all that, to take everything. But And then it will proclaim, well, these are older in regards of Codex Sinaiticus, are older than the textual, what do you call it, the received text. I can't remember all these big words and all that. Okay, Textus Receptus, I think it's called. Yeah, Textus Receptus. So because these documents that we found, like, down in Egypt and all that, that these are older and burned manuscript and all that, well, we'll just stand on those. What about the Waldensians Bibles? Oh, we'll forget those. What about the Peshitta? Oh, we forget those. Okay. Anyway. So, but anyway, 500 years to read the Bible, right? Okay, let's just overlook this thing in regards to manuscripts, right? Because, and let's just look at the traditions that most of proclaimed Christianity is promoting. Are these the Christian festivals or the Roman festivals? Are these pagan festivals, satanic festivals, or Christian festivals? Because they're coming from Rome. Well, they are pagan traditions that Rome is promoting and made these traditions into Christianity, Christian festivals. Which of course it's not. Christ Mass, pagan. Easter, pagan. Sunday, pagan. And then of course you have, the pagan New Year of Janus in the winter, the Roman pagan New Year in the winter, and so forward it goes. Let's see what he says. He wrote me, this conversation is over, I think. I tried to point him in the correct direction. I tried. Yeah, you tried to point me in the right direction. I tried to point you in the right direction. Direction. That's right. So no. What else? I'll just throw it back to him, right? He says, this conversation is over, I think. I tried to point him in the correct direction. I tried. And he's like, right back to, I tried to point you in the right direction. I tried. It's just sad, It's just very sad. Of course, you could have refuted what I said if I'm wrong, in regards of the Nestle 20. Is it called Nestle? I think it's called Nestle 28 or something like that. And sure, I'm sure I can use it for something, but you have to take everything into consideration, not just forget the Peshitta or the Samaritan Bible, or you just can't just. You have to take everything into consideration. So, yeah, Nestle shareholder approved N28. Yeah, Nestle. No, maybe that's not it. Let's see here. Book. Nestle book. No, I'm getting the wrong. no one. Just from Nestle to the Idiocretia Major is a book. The transmission of the Greek text. Yeah. Digital Nestle Island. Yeah, there we go. Nestle Island. So I don't really have that. I think it costs money. I don't think I have it anyway. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I did. No, I don't think I had. I'm not sure in regards of working. Oh no. No, that's. I see a help. Check for your unlock modules. Let me see here. No, I don't seem to have it here. I do know it exists and all that, so it's not like but maybe on the concordance or something like that. But so anyway, so that was what I wrote back to him. I think you need to listen to some understanding, but sadly just furthering the same old agenda of nonsense. It is very sad you hireling preachers that just stand in the door to guard the bullshit of false traditions. You still, after 500 years, continue to keep Roman traditions which have nothing to do with the Christian valid festivals of Jehovah. Spraying some Christian climber over pagan turds won't make them Christian in any way. Now, I'm talking about the festivals here, but I'm just trying to make a point. I know it's kind of straying a little, but I'm just trying to make a point that these people are clinging to clear, stinking, false traditions that has no root in the Bible. Absolutely no root in the Bible. And yet they still continue, even those that knows that these are not valid Christian festivals, are still promoting this because money. So anyway, if I recall, the N28 is further having coded Sinaiticus to proclaim things when not in the oldest manuscripts. But let's run away from the Peshitta translated around the 1st century and run to Pubi's celebrated traditions and pushing it against the text that was overwhelmingly received. Not to forget the Waldensians Bibles. Right? But we don't want to talk about those. Bibles, did I spell that correctly? Bibles, maybe Bibles. Yeah, okay, I think I've, but it's like interesting. Bibles, anyway. Bibles. Was overwhelmingly received, not to forget the Waldensians Bibles. Incredible how much Roman nonsense has infiltrated everything these days for you people to run to that foundation. And I just took a screenshot of my Bible program where you can see all the things that I have in my Bible program, the JPS, the ESV, the SLT, in regards to the Aramaic, all those Aramaic things and all that is found. The German Lutheran Bible, as I understand, he actually translated that from the Latin, which is interesting. I do wonder. Now, of course, Wycliffe also translated from the Latin Bible as well. And that's not to say that you couldn't use, the Latin and all that to find out that the Roman Catholic maniac institution have issues. But that's not to say that it doesn't have its own issues, and of course it has. It doesn't have the name of God in it. Anyway. But yeah, the Wycliffes, what were they called? The Lollards. They were called the Lollards, and they made a huge amount of problems for Rome in England. They were reading the Bible that Wycliffe and others translated, and again they became known as the Lollards. Of course ridiculed by the Romanizers and all that, speaking the words from the Bible. Then later on William Tyndale came around and he translated the Greek Testament into English. Now they smuggled these Bibles, these New Testament, into England, and they caught William Tyndale and they burned him at the stake, because translating the Bible in Greek, from the Greek textual receptors, instead of the Latin from Rome, and of course, just in the sense of you are not allowed to have the Bible in the common tongue, right? That's just totally terrible. But yeah, it is as it is. But yeah, so they burned him at the stake. Martin Luther translated the whole Bible into the German tongue. It seems like he might have translated it from the Latin, although I need to further investigate that, if that is true. Because, in regards to the Latin as well, you can see the English Latin of of Wycliffe, but he used the Latin as well from Jerome. So if the German also is using you should be able to see the same differences. Whatever was at their disposal, in regards to if the Latin was at their disposal, and Luther translated from that, well, it still has a huge amount of truth, But today we have so many sources that we can gather together to nail issues. You can still be saved by reading the Latin. It's not like you can't be saved by reading the Latin where the name of God is not there, and there might be some further issues here and there, which, if you go to the Latin, they are not found, and so forward. But, going to the Greek, or the Aramaic for that matter, the closer we can get to cleaner waters, the better. It's not to say the gospel is not there, because of course the gospel is there. But when the scholars and those educated priesters and hirelings and all that, and they just want to cling to the Greek, because the Greek is it's just nonsense, because we have the gospel going out in the world, not only to the Greeks, but also to, other parts of the world in regards of other languages. So, it's just nonsense. So much nonsense. And, yeah, we just have to stand for the truth. Anyway. And there are people that knows a lot more on these things, but it's interesting that this guy proclaimed himself to be, as far as I can see, a Protestant, although he didn't really, he didn't really agree if he actually, stood on the doctrine of rejecting, and rejecting the Antichrist and all that. And it's also interesting many times that you can see that so many people are giving thumbs up for keeping the status quo and not really moving in the right direction. But he didn't seem to actually be able to say anything in regards of the Nestle thing, in regards of using the Codex Sinaiticus. So again, that's, as far as I recall, it uses the Codex Sinaiticus, and that means we need to be very careful. They use this thing. Yeah, well, it's not found in the oldest manuscripts. What oldest manuscript are we talking about? Oh, the one that was found in down, and that the Vatican and Rome and the Pope praised and all that. Oh, is that the document you've... And by the way, that's another interesting thing, because I remember these two guys, which that's actually from the Seventh-day Adventists, where they collect all these letters from these two guys, and you have it on paper, you have it in written form. It should be done. We should be off now. I've apparently, according to this, used 60 gigabytes, but it seems to actually still continue to. So apparently it's still a little. If it cuts off, it's because I don't have more gigabytes. But at the moment, it seems to still, continue. I have 1 GB. I think it will take a little time for it to use that 1 GB still. And when that happens, I have another thing I can just turn on and all that, so that's no problem. Anyway, as usual, documents all over the place, you know. Documents, books, and documents, and documents, and more documents. It's just a havoc, you know. So, looking pretty much forward to, not anyway, but you know, if they close my computer and all that, the only place I will be able to get on the internet is on the library. So I will have huge amount of time to sort things through in regards to these documents and sort things out, and that might actually be a pretty, we'll see, you know. Well, if it happens, it happens. If they come to take my power away and all that, and then that's just how it is. So then I will be able to, all these papers printed out, I can just sit and read those and move forward. So yeah, well, we never really got into reading these things, just responding to. Let's see, I should get on going. There's another one from Michael. Okay, let's see what Hayes has to say, if I can find it. If it wanna find it, let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, John Pokemon turned off commenting for this post. I'm not sure where that thing is. The new Cambridge Diadem Bible Apocryphy. Are we still able to talk here? Yeah, we have 51 all comments here, but it's not showing me where the guy has commented again. So I end up using so much time just trying to find where the person has commented, you know. I can see someone commented, but I need to go around and look around, and that shouldn't be English. Oh, okay, maybe this is just okay. This is not to my thread. This is in regards to the new Cambridge Diadem Bible. So okay, let's see here. There's a thing from the admin here.